Hey everyone, this is Gary Kay, and welcome to my first pre-InfoComm podcast. Kurt DeYoung from Nanolumens, Chief Revenue Officer. Kurt, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Gary. I can't believe I'm number one.
You are number one. Literally, you're number one. Here you go. Check it out. You must be happy with that.
That's fantastic. I'm loving that.
No, it's funny because you and I go back a long time. And there are a few people that know the intricacies of the display market as well as you. So I'm really happy that you're joining me here. You'll be at InfoComm in booth 3081. The show's not gigantic. It'll be easy. It's not like an ISE. It'll be easy to find you. And obviously you're going to be doing spectacular displays because that's what Nanolumens has always done. But it's interesting. Before we get started on all the things you're going to do at the show, your segment of the market is really moving really rapidly. Digital signage / digital experiences are becoming a bigger thing. Experiential marketing and advertising is a big thing now. Yep. And, pretty much every segment of the market has basically said the future of displays is LED in one form or another. So that plays really well into the Nanolumens brand.
Yeah, I think it's remarkable. So I've been here for 4 years, and then I spent a long part of my career at Barco, and so another really display-oriented business. And, just over the past 4 years, it's really been remarkable how many different types of use cases that we've seen LED be engineered into, like very simple, gate totems in airports where it's a single cabinet, but it's very dynamic. The content and the experience for the passenger journey makes that a really important use case and a really important application for those passengers walking up to the gate and keeping them informed on how, is their plane on time? Is it late?
Yeah.
To retail, to all of the other things that you've mentioned, which are kind of have been the bedrock of like the application of LED technology, big immersive lobbies, corporate experience centers, obviously stadiums and sports books and those types of applications. But you're also seeing it kind of integrate into markets where projection has been the dominant technology, or flat panels have been the dominant technology, like museums. And we're working on a ton of museum projects right now. So it's great to see, the technology progress, the costs come down. It's much more accessible for a broader cross section of the industry. And that has pros and cons, right?
Right.
You're really buyer beware out there. And so,
well, that brings up a good point. I mean, I think it's smart for us to sort of, tackle that straight on, because you're right. It is kind of buyer beware because not all LEDs are made the same, but more importantly, not all are supported the same. And to me, that's even more important than the manufacturing, because ultimately they don't last forever, unlike all of us would like to believe, and you're going to need support. So tell me how that you believe allows Nanolumens to stand apart in a crowded market, because the LED is like at ISE, there were 50 plus manufacturers of LED. At InfoComm, there's going to be 30 plus. So tell me what makes you stand out?
Well, I think it starts with how you support the customer on the front end of the project, right? Like, what is the use case? What's the application? What's the design intent? Making sure that you're selecting the right product, right? Is it going in a high traffic area? Well, you better put a coating on this product, right? You either better buy COB, or you better put a coating, a silicone coating, which we call ProTech. A lot of people call it GOB, but I think it starts at that stage of the process to make sure that you're making the right product choices for the environment that you're going into. And then it comes back to, okay, how do you support your partners, your channel partners, with back-to-back SLAs for their customers? How do you enable them to do remote monitoring and management? How do you build scalable systems so that they can understand, what part of the imaging chain may be acting up at any given time? Because, our support guys get calls all the time like, hey, the display is not working. But, it could be the display, it could be the content management system, it could be the network dropped, it could be a lot of things. And to be able to prevent your partner from having to roll the truck, and if they do have to roll the truck, to have an intelligent answer, this is likely the problem. Those are the things that display companies really have to be focused on. And if you're not focused on those things and you're just buying on price, I think you're doing yourself a disservice, or you're doing your client a disservice by not educating them about, this is a capital asset. It's going to be in your
Yeah.
facility for a long time. It's very expensive, right? And you better have a good day two plan, and your manufacturer partner better be able to stand behind it all the way through that lifespan, because we're up to like 8-year warranties on certain products in our line,
I
which,
don't, does anyone even have warranties that long? I think the longest I've heard is 5 and 6 years.
yeah, I think it might be the longest warranty. I mean, there's a lot of like limited lifetime warranty talk in the market, but
Yeah.
you really have to kind of dig into the T's and C's and the fine
Yeah.
print. Ours is straight 8 years, right? Anything in that system goes wrong, we're going to fix it for you. And I think that's kind of a testament to the quality of the company, the belief that we have in our product, how we're doing engineering and design work here at Nanolumens compared with other manufacturers. And probably a lot of the 30 companies that you mentioned that are going to be at InfoComm, they don't really have a strategy there, right? They don't have a US presence. They don't really have a service strategy. And really they're looking at, hey, I've got product. And I know everybody in this market, in the AV market, probably gets these messages. Hey, I'd like to sell you some LED. Right?
Yeah. I get them on LinkedIn all the time.
I get 3 every morning. Like I wake up and I'm like, no, I'm not interested. But how many people are taking advantage of that or going, hey, that sounds like a great idea?
Well, obviously it must be working for somebody, because I get them all the time. It's like
I'm
these
just
junk
sending them
email
out
calls.
myself.
Well, let me mention one other thing too that you didn't even mention: TAA compliance, because obviously you're laser focused on that being US based for what you guys do.
Yeah.
So that's another part of it. But I want to also talk about some new stuff. First off, your Aurora Processing. This is very interesting, and I think that this needs to be explained, because that's one of the differentiators for you. So tell us what it is.
Well, I think one of the things that people are like, I hear it a lot, right? Like the images all look pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And the tech is, day one, the tech looks great, right? So what are you trying to solve for your partners? And for us as a channel focused business, like we're trying to solve integrator problems. And
Right.
one of the areas is like, what is the facility impact? Can we cut the data lines, the number of data lines that it takes to run a video wall? That's what we've done with Aurora. Can we help you with like simple, easy, intuitive kind of service handling? Hey, I've run into this particular issue. Here's 2 or 3 things that you might want to try to fix the issue, right? So some self-diagnostics associated with that product. And let's face it, and when you go to the trade show and you go to InfoComm, every one of the screens that you're looking at is running at 70, 80, 100% brightness. And it's incredibly vibrant, right? You can reach out and
run them 24 hours a day that way.
Right. You can't run it in that level. And every environment is not appropriate to run it in that level.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the environments where we're putting these big canvases, it's a dark controlled environment, and it's done for the atmospheric kind of benefit of having this video wall. But the customer's like, hey, I want to run it at 20%. I want to run it at 30%. I want to do that because it's appropriate for my use case, but it also really extends the life. It cuts the facility impact. It keeps the heat down. It reduces the power draw, et cetera, right? And a lot of the technology that's out there that's on the market, when you do that, you crush the grayscale fidelity, and you're not able to kind of really appreciate the full dynamic contrast range that you really want to see at those lower luminance levels. And
so Aurora has inside of it the ability to lower the brightness level and also maintain colorimetry.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you think about those use cases where that's really going to be critical, utilities, control rooms, secure environments, skips, all of those things are really focused on this kind of TAA product class as well. So Aurora also kind of is a TAA platform, which is going to be very helpful for us in our market and our partners to position a full end-to-end solution.
Yeah, that's good to know. And are you shipping this now? This Aurora Processing?
We'll show it for the first time at InfoComm. Okay. We're quoting now. Deliveries are going to be in early Q3. So all the orders that we're quoting out now are going to be deliverable in Q3. So we're ready to go.
Can it be extended via fiber?
It can go fiber or straight up like coax, right? Or like just Cat5.
All right. So another thing you're doing at InfoComm that I know about is this partnership that you have with, what you're going to show with AUO Display Plus and OpenEye Global with the see-through micro LED, which I think is really going to be hot. I mean, obviously micro LED has been the talk of the show from a quality standpoint for many years now, but now you have a see-through micro LED specifically aimed at signage. Talk about that for a moment, because that's going to, it's funny. Integrators need that tool to focus on to help them sell the market.
Well, and if you think about a lot of the projects that experienced design companies, architects, some of the more progressive integrators are out there kind of working with their brand clients. Those projects are a year or 2 years away, right?
Yeah.
So our hope at InfoComm this year, as part of this collaboration with AUO Display Plus, and content is being developed by OpenEye Global, is to really show a real commercial use case, right? In a lot of cases, these have been, micro LED has been shown as kind of a work in progress or an ambient part of a booth design. Really what we're doing is we're working with a brand. We're going to develop some interactive content and really show how you can use this technology in a variety of use cases. If you think about, premium retail, somebody like, Yves Saint Laurent or somebody like that, somebody that's really selling high-end goods, they're trying to elevate that retail experience, or
give it a wow.
Yeah, give it a wow.
Factor.
Or you think about like a museum where they have like priceless artifacts and they want to put them on display, but they want to be able to put them behind glass, right? To protect them.
Yeah, and the only thing we've had to do that up to this point has been OLED.
Yeah, and OLED's a great tech, right? It's a good tech, but it definitely has its limitations associated with transparency, brightness, diffusion.
Well, 16:7 at the most too is another factor there.
Yep. So I mean, there's some limitations, and I think this use case and this kind of technology demonstration really should show a real commercial application where you can say, hey, I've got an idea, I can plug this right in, and it's appropriate for this particular use case. And it's not going to be appropriate for everything, but it definitely is going to be a view into the future for a lot of companies that are out there looking for what is the latest, greatest tech and what's going to be on the market in 6 months, a year, and what do we want to kind of inform our clients around? And that's really what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and all this will be at InfoComm in booth 3081. Kurt, thank you. Well, actually, before I let you go, is there anything else you're doing at InfoComm that we should mention? I know that if I remember correctly, you have an educational session coming up at InfoComm as well, right? I mean, because this is like, to me, that I know that you're going to hate to hear this as an exhibitor. I think people should spend more time getting educated at InfoComm than they should be walking the show floor. Yep. Because I know you guys all want people to come in your booth, but I think we do a good job capturing that with our video acquisition. But I think the education is a big part of it, and you're going to participate in this.
We are. We've got a course that's really dedicated to the Aurora Processing platform. Mm-hmm. It takes place at 11 a.m. on June 10th, right? It has an RU credit as well. And then we're also participating on a panel with Bluefin, Legrand, and a couple of other companies. ABI-SPL is the sponsor of this particular session, really about lifecycle management and digital signage networks. And we did that last year, backed by popular demand. We're going to try to, bring some new use cases and some insights back to the market. But that was a really well-attended session. That also is on June 10th. I think it's around 2 p.m.
All right, excellent. Well, look, I really appreciate this. Nanolumens.com. Should definitely check them out if you haven't. What's nice, Kurt, you're very approachable. You're also very helpful, and you're also personable. So I think that really benefits Nanolumens to have sort of the face of the company be someone that's approachable. So you've done a really good job. Thank you very much for joining me today. I wish you the best at InfoComm. We're of course going to go to their booth and shoot this, shoot everything we talked about. But it's hard to capture the quality of an LED in just using a camera. So you really have to go by there. So if you're going to be at the show, you definitely want to go by their booth. Again, they're going to be at InfoComm 2025 this year in Orlando in booth 3081. Kurt, I look forward to seeing you, and you and I will do an interview together at the booth.
That sounds great. Thank you, Gary. And I'm glad I was number one, and hopefully I stay in pole position with respect to the interviews coming up.
No, it's great. I like starting a little bit early, and this gets us some great content for what people can expect it to show. There's a lot of consternation about what's going on in the world, and I think the great thing is InfoComm's an exciting time, right? Everyone loves going to InfoComm, so I'm excited about it. Well, thank you very much, Kurt. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you want to see all of our InfoComm coverage, easy to do. You can actually go back and even see last year and the year before's coverage by going to ravepubs.com/InfoComm. What's cool is you can actually type in Nanolumens in the video search window and see the videos we shot last year. And some of them include some of the products that Kurt talked about today, actually. But in the meantime, you can also see everything else at InfoComm 2024. And we'll, of course, go to InfoComm in a month and a half, a little, almost 2 months. We'll be at InfoComm and we'll actually shoot everything. So thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great day.